Dimensions and measures inside of Tableau Desktop.
What is a dimension and measure in Tableau?
Dimensions and measures inside of Tableau Desktop. Blue pills and green pills. Dimensions are blue pills. Measures are green pills. A dimension is how you would slice and dice your data. A measure is what you would be aggregating. Think of your sum, average, minimum, maximum. That's what you're measuring. And these are often integers, decimals, or floats. And for dimension, think of dates, strings, maybe geography.
Where are dimensions and measures in Tableau Desktop?
In Tableau Desktop, when you're looking for your dimensions and your measures, you're looking for your sidebar. Often, the sidebar can be collapsed for viewing purposes. Maybe somebody was presenting. The sidebar can be found here. Also, there's a nifty little button. This little caret will pop it in and out. Good to know when presenting, you do not need dimensions and your measures sitting there.
How do I find and use dimensions and measures in Tableau Desktop? My dimensions and measures are not working correctly.
Inside of Tableau Desktop, you have a fixed location, your sidebar, which is here found on the left side of Tableau. On the top, you have dimensions like city, country, date, language, source. These are different ways that we want to slice and dice the data. You can see here the dimension is used on rows, which is country. Country is slicing the sum of sessions. Sessions comes from the measure values, and we can find it here. We can also find other measure values, like this particular one, that is a calculation, where I'm calling a dimension and I'm generating a measure. Now, Tableau automatically assumes that we want a measure value when I build this calculation, and we can move it if it's wrong. Same with the calculations or the columns that are coming with your data sources that you're connecting to on Tableau. It will automatically assume what it is. Country is named the right way. That tells Tableau that it should automatically assume that it is the geographic role of country. If your data and your dimensions or your measure values are not automatically syncing up, it could be a data integrity issue. Maybe there's some string values inside of your measures. That can happen a lot with Excel data sources that aren't relational databases or ACID compliant data sources.
What is a dimension in Tableau Desktop?
Dimensions contain qualitative values, such as names, dates, or geographical data. You can use dimensions to categorize, segment, and reveal the details in your data. Dimensions affect the level of detail in the view.
What is a measure in Tableau Desktop?
Measures contain numeric, quantitative values that you can measure. Measures can be aggregated. When you drag a measure into the view, Tableau applies an aggregation to that measure by default.
What is continuous and discrete in Tableau?
Tableau represents data differently in the view, depending on whether the field is discrete, which is blue, or continuous, which is green. Continuous and discrete are mathematical terms. Continuous means forming an unbroken whole without interruption. Discrete means individually separate and distinct.
Does Tableau recognize dimensions and measures?
Whenever you connect to a new data source, Tableau Desktop automatically will try to understand and determine whether your column is either a dimension or a measure.
Dimensions and measures, and a few tips.
Now you've learned a lot about dimensions and measures inside of Tableau Desktop. What you can do with that is you can generate data visualizations. You can start to see the value in the data that A, you've generated, or B, your business has generated, or C, your software has created for you. That's the cool thing about Tableau. Now, if you're finding mistakes, that's also nice too. Tableau is very telling about the things that you're doing wrong in your data pipeline. Don't think of you're doing wrong as a negative thing. Think of it as, cool, let's build on this. Everything starts as a prototype. Dimensions and measures being perfect every time in the workbook, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you have to use a fake data source and just hope in the future that the data pipeline gets cleaned up.
Thanks for learning about dimensions and measures in Tableau Desktop with Tyler.
In Tableau Desktop, dimensions and measures are the first place to go whenever creating any data sources. Whenever you connect your data source, Tableau will automate managing whether they are a dimension or a measure. And it's up to you to build the things that you're looking to build with your dimensions and measures inside of Tableau Desktop.